Today, we're diving into a connection that most of us completely miss every single day. It's this really critical link between the food we eat, the health of our mouth, and, believe it or not, the well being of our entire body. So, let's get into it.
I want you to think about this for a second. What if your smile wasn't just about having clean teeth and fresh breath? What if it was an actual, literal window into your risk for some of the biggest health issues out there, like heart disease, cancer, and even neurological conditions? Well, that's the powerful and frankly kind of shocking idea we're going to explore today. So, the core concept here is something scientists call a bidirectional relationship. Now, that sounds fancy, but it's really just a two-way street. It goes like this. What you eat has a direct impact on your teeth and your gums. No surprise there, right? But, and this is the part that changes everything, the health of your mouth then turns right around and affects the rest of your body in some pretty profound ways. Let's break down exactly how that works.
To really get this, you kind of have to see your mouth for what it is. It's a constant, daily battlefield, and every single meal, every snack you have, plays a role in who wins.
Yup, you heard that right. Every single time you eat or drink something, a whole cycle kicks off in your mouth. You can think of it like a microscopic war that can either build up your defenses, or, if the wrong side wins, it can lead to some really serious damage. So let's go ahead and meet the attackers.
So how exactly does our diet launch this assault on our teeth? Well, it all comes down to a process that's fueled by some of the foods we love the most.
The process is actually surprisingly simple, and it happens in 4 steps. First, you eat anything with sugars or starches. Second, the bacteria that live in your mouth, and we all have them, they have an absolute feast. Third, as they digest all those sugars, they produce acid as a waste product. And fourth, and this is the kicker, it's that acid that does all the damage. It literally dissolves your tooth's hard outer layer, the enamel, and that's what leads to cavities.
And it's really important to know there are actually 2 kinds of acid damage going on. There's tooth decay, which we just talked about. That's caused by acids from bacteria. But then there's also something called dental erosion. This is damage from direct acid contact. Think about the acids in soft drinks, or certain fruit juices, or even from internal stuff like acid reflux. Both are driven by what we consume, but the way they attack is just a little bit different.
Okay, but it's not all doom and gloom. Not at all. Our diet also provides the heroes for this battle, the key nutrients that build up our oral defenses. So let's meet the team, shall we?
First up, we've got the foundational building blocks, calcium and phosphorus. These two are the absolute dynamic duo for strong teeth. Their job is simple, but it is absolutely essential. They are the main minerals that actually make up our tooth enamel. So a diet that's rich in them literally strengthens our armor, making it way more resistant to those acid attacks we were just talking about. Next on the team is vitamin C. Now, while calcium and phosphorus are focused on the hard tissues, the teeth, vitamin C is the champion of the soft tissues. I mean, think about it. You can have the strongest teeth in the world, but if the gums holding them in place are weak, you are in big trouble. And that's exactly where vitamin C comes in. It's totally vital for producing healthy collagen, which is what keeps your gums firm and resilient against infection. And finally, we have the great facilitator, vitamin D. Now, it doesn't build the teeth directly, but it plays this indispensable supporting role. You really can't do without it. Just think of vitamin D as the special key that unlocks the door for calcium. Without enough vitamin D, your body just can't effectively absorb and use the calcium you eat, no matter how much you're getting in your diet. So yeah, it's a super critical part of the team.
Okay, so we've seen the battle in the mouth, we've met the attackers and the defenders. But what happens when that battle is lost? This is where the story gets really, really interesting, because this is where we see how a local problem in your mouth can send shockwaves through your entire body. So when those oral defenses get overwhelmed, it can lead to a really severe form of gum disease called periodontitis. You can just think of it as a chronic infection that's always simmering in your gums. And this isn't just about sore gums. It's a condition where bacteria, and crucially inflammation from your mouth, can get into your bloodstream and travel to other parts of your body. And the connections that scientists have found are, well, they're staggering. So how does this happen? Well, the main culprit is that chronic inflammation. Let's just look at the impact. A recent analysis found that people with periodontal disease have 3.17 times higher odds of having head and neck cancer. I mean, just let that sink in. That is a staggering increase in risk, all linked back to inflammation that starts in the mouth. And that systemic inflammation can also damage blood vessels all over your body, which is why the very same analysis found a 2.88 times higher risk for ischemic stroke. That's a blockage of blood flow to the brain. We're talking a direct line from an unhealthy mouth to a major cardiovascular event. And because this is all about inflammation, the effects are truly body-wide. The risk for rheumatoid arthritis, which is an autoimmune disease, was found to be 1.69 times higher. This just brilliantly illustrates how a fire that starts in your gums can end up fueling inflammatory fires everywhere else in your body. Now, let's just step back and see how this all builds into a much bigger picture. This table summarizes just some of the major connections. In the cancer category, we see links to oral, pancreatic, and lung cancer. For cardiovascular health, we've got heart disease, stroke, and hypertension. It can make diabetes complications worse, and there are even emerging links to neurological conditions like Alzheimer's. The mouth really, truly is a gateway to the rest of the body. So, after seeing all of that, the big question is, what can we actually do about it? Well, the good news is the playbook is pretty straightforward, and it puts the power right back on your plate. Here are 4 simple but really powerful habits. First, limit how often you snack. This gives your mouth time to recover and neutralize all those acids between meals. Second, choose whole foods whenever you can. Processed foods are often packed with hidden sugars that just fuel those bad bacteria. Third, just rinse with water after you eat. It's such a simple way to wash away food particles. And finally, eat a balanced, varied diet to make sure you're getting all of those hero nutrients that we talked about earlier. So, as we wrap up, I just want to leave you with this one question. Now that you know that the choice starts in your mouth, but it definitely doesn't end there, is your next meal going to be building your health up or breaking it down? Thanks for listening. All right, let's dive right in. Today, we're talking about a powerhouse mineral that's absolutely crucial for your body, but you know what? It often flies completely under the radar. We are talking about magnesium. I just love this quote because it hits the nail on the head, doesn't it? Magnesium isn't the flashy star of the show, but it's that critical, best supporting actor that's in the background, making sure hundreds of things are going right every single second of the day. And when I say hundreds, I am not exaggerating. This number right here, over 300, that's how many essential biochemical reactions in your body simply cannot happen without magnesium. I mean, think about that. That's a massive amount of responsibility for just one mineral. So for our first section, let's do just that. Let's pull this unsung hero out from the background and put it right into the spotlight where it belongs. You heard that right. It is the 4th most abundant mineral in your entire body, coming in right after calcium, potassium, and sodium. It's literally inside every single one of your cells. But when we talk about key nutrients, magnesium just rarely gets the airtime it deserves. Okay, so what is this powerhouse mineral actually doing for us day in and day out? Let's take a look at the incredible job description for magnesium inside our bodies. I mean, just look at this list. The sheer variety of its jobs is pretty amazing. Magnesium is helping turn your food into energy, it's building proteins, it's even helping repair your DNA. On top of that, it helps your muscles contract and relax, it regulates your heartbeat. It really is a jack of all trades. And here's one of its most critical roles. Magnesium is an electrolyte. What does that mean? Well, it carries an electric charge that's absolutely vital for your body's entire electrical system. This is what lets your nerves fire off signals and, maybe most importantly, what helps your heart maintain a steady, normal rhythm. So all of this naturally leads to a really big question. We know magnesium is important, so are you actually getting enough of it? So what's the goal here? What's the number we should all be aiming for every day to keep all those 300+ processes running like clockwork? Okay, here are the official recommendations. For adult men, the goal is about 400 to 420 milligrams a day. And for adult women, it's a little bit less, around 310 to 320. Now, that's the total you should be aiming for from all sources. So that's your food, your drinks, everything combined. Now, this is where it gets kind of wild. Even though magnesium is in so many healthy foods, it turns out that nearly half, 48%, of Americans don't get enough from their diet alone. A big part of the reason is just modern life. You know, processed foods are often stripped of magnesium, and even the soil our food grows in isn't as rich in minerals as it used to be. So,
Before we even start thinking about supplements, the absolute best and safest way to up your intake is through food. So let's talk about where you can find the good stuff.
And you can see here, it's actually pretty achievable. Just look at pumpkin seeds. A single ounce gives you 156 milligrams. Wow, that's almost half the daily goal for women right there. Things like nuts, seeds, leafy greens like spinach, and legumes like black beans are all fantastic and pretty easy ways to boost your intake.
But let's be realistic. What if getting enough from your diet consistently is just a challenge? Well, that brings us right to our next section, the supplement story. So if you go walking down the supplement aisle, you'll quickly realize that not all magnesium is created equal. Two of the most common forms you'll see are citrate and glycinate. Now, both are absorbed really well, but they kind of have different specialties. Citrate is great for boosting low levels, but be warned, it can have a laxative effect. Glycinate, on the other hand, is known for its calming properties and is often a bit gentler on the stomach. Now, this right here is a super important number to burn into your memory, 350 milligrams. This is the official tolerable upper intake level for adults from supplements only. I'm going to repeat that because it's key. This limit does not include the magnesium you get naturally from your food.
And yeah, this really proves you can have too much of a good thing. Going overboard on magnesium from supplements, and again, not from food, can lead to some pretty unpleasant side effects like diarrhea and nausea. And while serious toxicity is pretty rare for most healthy people, it's a real concern for anyone with kidney problems. And this is another huge reason to be careful. Magnesium supplements can actually mess with how your body absorbs certain medications, like some common antibiotics or drugs for osteoporosis. They can also interact with things like diuretics and even those common acid reflux meds. This is exactly why that conversation with your doctor before starting any supplement is absolutely non-negotiable.
Okay, let's wrap this all up. What's the bottom line here? What's your takeaway, your action plan? Here it is, your simple 3-step action plan. Step 1, food first, always. It's the safest and best source, period. Step 2, know the risks. If you do think about a supplement, respect that 350 milligram upper limit. And step 3, the most important one of all, talk to a pro. You should always consult your doctor before starting anything new to make sure it's the right and safe choice for you. So I'll just leave you with this thought. We've established that magnesium is a true best supporting mineral in the amazing production that is your health. The only question left is, are you giving this unsung hero the support it truly deserves? Thanks for tuning in.